Hello, welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. Today is Friday the 27th of June 2025 and this is episode 189. Welcome if you are a new viewer, welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my podcast all about what I've got up to crafting wise this week, and I've gone back on project. So if you're a long-term viewer of the Knitting Project, I apologise because you know what this is, but when I first started my podcast, I was doing a rolling rotation of whips to try and get some of them finished, and it actually really does work for me. So with things being as they are here at the moment, which is, I mean, it's not busy, it's actually quietened down quite a lot, but I've still got a lot of sorting out I'm doing in the house. So it's not that I'm not getting time to craft, but I'm not getting time to think about what I'm crafting. So I thought, right, I'm going to go back on project, and then I've got a set. This day I'm doing this day I'm doing that. It'll come apparent as we go through the podcast. So I do 6 days, not 7, because some days I am busier than others, and then everything sort of gets a fair bite of the cherry, including at weekends where I do hopefully have a little bit more time to craft. You never know. So I have got that. I've finished my embroidery, but I don't know where that is. Where did I put that? I'll try and find that in a minute. But let's go into the project first, and then we'll do embroidery and other bits at the end. Day one is socks, and it's hanging out in this lovely little sunshine bag, which came in my summer solstice box from Woolly Goodness, and I've called these my summer solstice socks. So I tried to see how much I could knit actually on the solstice. I did quite well. That is the yarn. Obviously, if you've not opened your box, sorry about the spoiler for the bag, and look away. So this is the yarn. Oh, isn't it beautiful? And then that was the mini, and I have actually done one sock. So I've managed to finish one sock. Went great guns. It's kind of a Rose City roller rather than a jelly roll. It's only got a single roll at the top, and it has got the ribbing in the middle. I didn't do the colourwork ribbing that goes with the roller socks just because I couldn't be bothered. Let's not lie about these things. I just couldn't be bothered to do it. So there we go. That's that one. As you can see, I got the sparkle base. So I have got one, and I did manage to cast on the second one, and I have gone down the heel flap. So this was not just one day. The summer solstice day was the day I knit most of this sock and pretty much got it finished, and then day one socks was the Sunday. So this was the Saturday, which is the solstice, and this was the Sunday. If you've watched my solstice vlog, you will have seen that. So on the Sunday I decided to go on project and did day one is socks, and that was my sock. That's the sock I've decided to work on, because I mean, I have a good chance of actually having a pair of these. So, but right, day one socks, I'm going to work on this. And that's what I did. So I did it on 2.5, there we go, millimetre chalgoo needles, and I use 2 circulars. So, yeah, very pleased with those. They're very pretty. It was a very pretty set. If you want to see the full unboxing, it is in my solstice snippet video. I have been unboxes are not your thing. There is not just unboxing in that one. It is actually a vlog as well. And if unboxings and vlogs are not your thing, then I'd give that one a miss. It is a bit of a longer snippet for me. They're not normally that length. So that's day one, socks. Day two is shawl day, or something you can wear around your neck, because this is a cowl. It's hanging out in a lovely bag that my dear friend Belle made from the Belle and Stitch podcast. Hey Belle, I need to catch up with you. I'm so sorry. I can either podcast or talk to friends. Apparently I'm incapable of doing both. was chatting to another friend about that last night, and she was having a similar issue. Yes. So this is my beautiful bag, and in here I chose this because this is so nearly finished. So nearly finished. Is my Litmus cowl. I'm going to need the yarn out for this. So the Litmus cowl is a pattern by Jude Harper, and it's a free pattern, but I think you can make donations to charity for it. And here we go. So originally it's this random minis, and then these are, this is the main colour, is I believe it was an Elderflower Stitches one, but I did run out of the main colour by the time I got to, where was it, there. So from there on I've had to go into a different yellow, and I can honestly say I do not know whose yellow this is. Is there a ball band in here? Of course there isn't, because that would be helpful. I don't know whose yellow this is. Yeah, no idea. It's very pretty. It's sort of a butter yellow, and that's where I've gone now with this. And these last few minis have gone in from there are all West Greenloft yarns. That is beautiful. That's just stunning. I love that so much. So I have done, I want it to be 24 stripes, and I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I'm just putting this in. That will be mini 23, and I do not have a 24, so I need to find my 24, a 24. I need to put a 24 in. And I think mine is 100 stitches. Could it be 150? It might be 150 actually, because it's quite wide. Mine is quite wide, and yes, I really love it. So it was not there. That's not how much I've done. Let's move the stitch marker. It was there when I picked it up. Just there. That's from Jules, I think, So Sweet Violet. And that definitely was Jules So Sweet Violet, because that's a crystal one. So I did that. I love this. I really do. I'm not sure whether I like this or the mild scarf more. It's a close tie between the two of them, I think. But I would like to get this off the needles. I don't know whether I'll keep this or gift it. It might end up as a birthday present for someone, or a Christmas present, or I might keep it. Haven't quite decided yet. But I love it a lot. It's so much fun. It'd certainly brighten up a winter outfit, wouldn't it? So that's my Litmus cowl. And it is nice to have the indecision taken away. The amount of time I spend when I'm crafting not knowing what I'm going to start working on that day, it does help with that. This bag is beautiful. Look, it's got little strawberries on the inside. It's so lovely. Thank you for that belt. I did love my bag. So pretty. So that's day 2, which is shawl day. Day 3 is garment day, and that's hanging out in a bag that my lovely friend Brendy made me. I've been very lucky with gifted bags, and this is the spring vest. Now, I did not get much of this done. This was a day when I had a lot going on, but as we haven't seen it for a little while, I thought I would just get it out and show it to you. So this is all done in Elderflower Stitches DK, And there's this colourway, which is nearly finished. I'll explain what I've done with that in a moment. This colourway, which is also nearly finished, and then this one, which I have not started yet. So with these two, I weighed what I had left and split them into 2 balls because let's see if I can pick this up. I am in the middle of a round. I'm in the middle of a round. I mean, you're normally in the middle of a round, aren't you? It's a round. Silly girl. So I've done the neck on this and it keeps rolling in, so I'm hoping that that gets fixed when it's blocked. If not, I may undo that neck and do it, because I did it on a twisted rib and I don't know if that's why it's twisting in. We will find out. But I just did it in this green. I'm also not convinced I don't want that longer, so I may end up hold on, there's a really loud helicopter going over. That was very loud. So yeah, I may undo this and do another do another colour. So but I wanted to at least start with the green on each of these. So I've picked up the sleeve and I've started doing the rib on the sleeve. Well, the sleeve, the armhole. So I've started that in the green. So I'm going to go as far as I can in this, and then I don't know if I'm going to go straight into this or whether I'm going to split this into 3 so that I can do some round the neck and then some round both of the arms. There's not much there, so to split that into 3 is not going to be. I have a little pair of scales here. Let's see how much there is on it. Let's have a quick look. There's only 20 grams left. That's not going to be a lot at all, is it? Might just about do a couple of rounds on each. So yeah, and then I can finish off in this. So I definitely will be finishing doing more of the body in the purple, because I do want it a little bit longer than that. I don't want it a lot longer, to be fair, but yeah, I do want it a bit longer. And obviously I've got the bottom rib to do, which is going to have to just be in the purple because I won't have the colours to do the bottom rib multicoloured. So we will see. So this is the spring vest, vest number 2, and I can't remember who it's by. I'll put it on the screen down below. I might try to do little tapes for all of the projects now I'm back on project, because for apart from anything else, it's quite useful when I'm editing to remember what it is. So yes, as far as putting a little marker, let's grab a little bunny, cute little bunny, put it on here as that's my progress, so I know next week how far I've got to. So that's day 3, garment day. Day 4 is deadline knitting day. So this is going to be any knitting that has a deadline, be it monthly deadline, because I'm trying to do something a month, like my dishcloth for instance, and in this case socks, or if I've got a birthday coming up or something that I want to finish something for, I'm gonna make sure it can go into day 4. My deadline knitting is my Lay Family Yarn Santa's Secret Sock Club socks. So if for any reason you haven't opened June's, look away. But I mean, I've got July's now, so I'm assuming, or is this May's and I'm knitting it in June, and then I've got June's, which I'll be knitting in July. I don't know, but yeah, if you haven't opened this one, don't watch, but then how are you going to know? That's what it's called. And this is how far I got. So I have got a little jelly roll at the top, a little roll cuff, And that's as far as I've got. Didn't get very far with my deadline knitting. So that's the main skein, that's the mini, and what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to knit these plain, but at the very tippy top of the toe I want to put the red in, and I want to do a circular toe, so it's going to have a little red nose. That's my theory. So that's what I'm going to use that for. So nothing really to show you other than they are, I'm knitting them on 2 circulars. These are 2.5mm licky needles because I have run out of chalgos, which is hysterical because I have so many pairs of chalgos, and that all means they're in sock whips right now, so I really need this project to work. So that's my day 4 deadline knitting. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because obviously all you've got is a tiny little cuff that's been cast on, so I'm going to put my little progress keeper on there so we know where I was for the next podcast, which I'm hoping is next week. Otherwise the rotation it doesn't really work very well on a podcast, but it's more fun to see the progress, if you see what I mean. So that's my day 4 is deadline knitting, and day 5 is the last day on this podcast because today is actually day 6 because I started on Sunday. So Sunday was day 1, Monday was day 2, Tuesday was day 3, Wednesday was day 4, which is these, and yesterday, Thursday, was day 5, which is my mystery blanket day. Day 6 is Scrappy Project Day. I think I know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm going to save that as a surprise for next week because I may change my mind because it's me and I'm a squirrel. So let's move on to the next one. Day 5 is Mystery Blanket Day, and that is hanging out in my extremely giant blanket bag from the lovely Anne of Busy Pottering with this beautiful Strawberry Thief William Morris fabric, which I just love it. It's just such a joy, this bag. And it has got my entire blanket project in it for a Debbie Abrahams mystery blanket. So this is the baby blanket. It was 2023's, and Debbie brought out a baby blanket mystery knit along, and this is the first mail out, and I had started the first square, and that's all I've done. So I did yesterday finish my first square, and it's the letter Y, so it's an alphabet blanket. And yeah, that's the letter Y. I love this. There's 2 colorways, and I've chosen the rose one, which is probably no surprise to anybody. I went for the pink one. And yeah, it's beautiful yarn. It's a Rowan yarn. It's all knit in this, which is Rowan Baby Cash Soft Merino. Which is, does it say on it what it is? "57% wool, 33% acrylic and 10% cashmere." I'm going with that's not going to be washable. Well, it's saying 30 degrees. Funnily enough, don't tumble dry it, but that's what it is. It's got a little halo, can you see? It's ever so lovely. It's so soft. It is baby soft. I'm just not too sure about the practicality of having a baby blanket you can't wash. So I think if I were to make another one of these, which I think is possible because I'm really enjoying this, it's not massive. I would choose acrylic yarn so that it could be washed and tumble dried and dragged around the floor by a child. This is more of a nursery decoration item, I think. I haven't got anybody to give this to at the moment. I think Ira's a bit old for this one, so if there was another one coming on at some point, I would possibly save it for that one. But yeah, that's what I want to work on my mystery blankets, and yesterday when I was looking at my mystery blanket whips, I've got 3, I think, of which this is one of them, that I've got on the needles at the moment, and I've managed to find the squares for one and the yarn for another. This was the only one that had squares and yarn all together. So I was like, well, it's a mystery blanket. I want to get it done. I'm going to start with this one. So this will be really nice. And I can't tell you the relief and pleasure I had from just sitting with this last night and thinking, oh, I'm actually going to get on with this. I've literally done one square. Because it's 2023 and it's now 2025, all of the mail outs are available. I downloaded them all last night, and I think what I'm going to do is I've obviously done this square, but I'm now going to start with like the first square, which for me is the bottom left square, so that I can do them on strips and just then I can sew them together as I'm going, which I like doing. So I'm gonna, although obviously I'll be the end that this is a strip of, I don't know whether I can show you what I mean, because that's not making any sense, is it? Hold on, I've got all of the mail out here. It's sitting in my Cocoa Knits pattern keeper because it's a bit, I'd obviously folded it and it has been folded for quite a while, so it's a bit wrinkled. So I've got one of these Cocoa Knits magnetic pattern holders. So I'm using that because I have printed out the pattern, just because I can really. So here we go. So this is what it looks like. So I've done that square there, but what I'm actually going to do is go to that square there. So I've printed out, I think it's 1, 2 and 3 were all in the same like booklet. So I'm going to do those 3 first. So I'll get this row here completed, and then I'll do that row, and then I can sew that row to that row, and just carry on like that, which is what I will do with all my mystery blankets, because I haven't got one that I'm working in real time at the moment, because I did sort of say to myself I really can't order another one of these until I have got the very many that I have done. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna get these mail outs, and then so in this first one you would have got those 5 squares to do, but because I'm, as I said, the whole lot's out now, I'm just going to start from there. Did that make sense? I hope it did. It did in my head. It's always slightly concerning. I'm doing this on 3.5mm needles. I am using Chalgu needles for this. It's lovely. It's so soft. It's lovely to knit. The yarn is so nice to knit. So nice to knit. And these are, I'm guessing, 50-gram balls. Yes, 50-gram balls. Really enjoying it. Really pleased that I got back to doing the mystery blanket. So I'm going to look forward to my day 5s. As I said, day 6, I do not know what I'm going to do. I have a suspicion. I think I know what I'm going to do, if I can find all the bits. But we will see. So that'll be a surprise for next week. So also, whilst I am doing everything else, I am working on a square a day. It's not a square a day, it's a portion a day, but I'm working on my Under the Stars blanket. So each day I am trying to do a little bit on this. And this is a pattern by Amy Loudon, who is And Other Knits now, I think. And that was the first one, which you have seen. And then I'm working on the second one, which is this one. So that's a day, that's a day, that's a day, that's a day, and then that's a day, that's a day. There will be one there, which will be today's, and then that's a day. And then these have got squares in the corner, so that they'll all be, I don't know whether I will do 2 of those as a day or whether I'll do 1, because they really don't take long at all. I'm tempted to see whether I can make that a day, these a day, and then the squares a day. So it only takes 3 days to make one of these. But the longer I spend doing this, the less I have time for other projects. So we'll see. And I've got no deadline for this. It's not like I have to get it finished. It's so beautiful. I don't mind taking my time on it. This might be a bit boring for you if you see this thing, you know, multiple times on a podcast. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days to do one square. That is quite a lot of time. Yeah, I might speed up and do a couple of these. I'm currently, so this is just the bag that I keep my working yarn in. So that's the green, and I've got the yellow, and I'm using DPNs, just using 4mm zings. So all of my working yarn to make a square is in here. So it's quite a small little project, actually. It's quite portable. The rest of all the yarn, and probably the blanket squares eventually as well, are in one of my calyx boxes up there. So it's easy to grab. I have printed out the pattern for this. It's in a binder. Not because I don't like my scribe, but my scribe only does black and white. And because when I originally cast this on, I found it quite confusing. I decided I wanted it in the coloured squares, so I knew which was which. Now I don't think I'd have a problem, but I've already printed it out now. That's the same with my Debbie Abraham's mystery blanket. There is a lot of ferrule on that, and again the scribe is not in colour, and I'd say that's the only downside to a scribe, is that it's not in colour. So if you've got colour work charts, it's much better to have it in colour. Maybe they'll do a colour scribe one day. If so, I will be the first person to sign up for one. But until that time, I'm going to carry on just printing out the patterns and the grids for those. I know, quite like having a paper pattern from time to time. I like mixing it up. So that's an other thing that I'm doing. Also, I am doing a sewing project as well. I won't necessarily work on this every day, but I like to do some of it. And this is another So Sweet Violet bag. And this one I finished. Well, I haven't finished it. I finished the embroidery. I want to get the hoop wrapped in red and white. And I want to get some red backing felt for it. Because it's going to stay in its hoop and be, it's going to be the door wreath for my office at Christmas. But that's what I've done. I finished it. Everything's done. I've done the little French knots. I went a bit mad on the French knots. There is definitely more French knots on this than there is in the, literally, as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, I should have put one there. Needed one there somewhere. I might add one in. But yeah, it's done. I'm so pleased with this. And also, I finished it and I'm keeping it, which is really unusual for me for embroidery. So I'm going to, as I said, on the back, I'm going to tighten these up, and I'm going to back it with red felt, and I would like to wrap the hoop with red and white ribbon. Having said that though, I mean, that is not in the centre, is it? I need to sort that out. It's not centred at all. But I don't know. Maybe I won't wrap it in red ribbon. Maybe I'll just do like a red ribbon hanger. Oh, I could do red and white ribbon hanger because I've got the red and white ribbon that I have for Christmas, couldn't I? And just do that. I might do that actually. I am going to back it though. Definitely going to back it. But I might not wrap the hoop because I'm thinking that might take away from the actual embroidery. So I'll just do the red and white ribbon from the top to hang it. I quite like that idea. But I do need to centre that and back it for B. B for backing. But yeah, all done. I'm really, really pleased. I'm really pleased how that came out. So I need to choose. Well, I don't need to choose another embroidery. I need to find another embroidery because I've got so many on the go. Or I also want to do my vintage sewing box windows, wall art windows that I'm doing. but I've lost January's, and that seems to have stalled me not to do any, which is ridiculous. I need to just get on with it. I even know what bag it's in. I've not seen that bag, and I've cleared out in there, so I know it's not in there. Oh, actually thinking on, I think that's exactly where that is, because the one place I haven't cleared out is where the project bags for these are. I might be able to find that in a minute. So that's it. That's it for all my crafting that I've done. Not a bad week, not a bad haul. I'm going to grab out some Happy Mail now to show you. So now we're on to Happy Mail. I'm not 100% certain how to do this, but I have bought the Elderflower Stitches Blossom Cottage Sock Club, but I've bought a block, so I've got from here to November, October. I think it's this year's and it's not last year's. I don't know. Susie, if you happen to be watching this, please could you just advise me whether I can show the rest or not. But for the moment, just in case, I'm only showing May and June. And obviously it goes without saying, if you are doing this monthly and it is current and you have not opened your June one yet, please don't watch this. So I'm going to do the first one, which is May, and it's Peach Foxglove. Oh, I just love these so much. They're just so my colours. These are absolutely stunning. And I think the idea is to like knit some like really lovely summer shorties or summer socks with these. So I would like to get some summer shorties knit, but I may very well end up knitting these in the winter for next summer, just because I've got quite a lot of socks, as we've established, as I've run out of sock needles on the needles already. But isn't that gorgeous? It's got this little progress keeper with it. It's so pretty. And it's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Those are beautiful labels. And then, so this is June. So again, if you've not had yours, look away. I am going to say the colour name because, to be honest, it could be any colour. So I don't think I'll be giving an awful lot away. So June is Peony. And, oh, stunning. So pretty. I love these so much. It's got this beautiful, again, little progress keeper with it. Aren't they going to make the most gorgeous set of summer shorty socks? And also, I mean, they're full 100 gram and 20 gram skeins, so there's a lot of socks here. For me, anyway, because I've only got size 5 feet, so I can definitely get two pairs out of this without any problems whatsoever. So yeah, really looking forward to that. As I said, I have got the rest of them, but I can't, I'm not going to show them just in case that it's a current club, and I don't want to spoil. I do not want to spoil anyone is the problem. If I get time, I will message Susie and ask her, but yeah, isn't that lovely? Absolutely love it. Right, I think that's it. I have got more Happy Mail, but I'm going to show that next week, just because it's going to, I've bought quite a lot, but it's going to slow down now, so I thought I'll just sort of spread it out a little bit. So yeah, that's been very disjointed because I've had so many interruptions. I hope it's all worked out. I'm sure I can work it all out in editing, but I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you next week.